right, December 15th, 2022. It is, I don't know, it's not that cold out here today. It says it's 36 in the Digibug console. It did snow or kind of ice frost a little bit overnight, so we had some whiteness on the ground, but it's now going away. It's warming up. 36, baby. Stuff's going to be gone by noon, easily. Anyway, we're expecting some colder weather coming up here soon. I know a lot of the country right now is suffering with some nasty weather. We've been fortunate here in the blue state of Illinois to not get, that's only upstate, downstate's red, but you've got you got a lot of severe weather out there, and it's bypassed us so far, knock on some wood, and yeah, hopefully it's not too bad, but it is going to get colder. It is definitely going to get colder between now and Christmas. And today's the 15th. I don't know, there's some buzz going around on the net, you know, that this might be some big day. I think it was, what was it, the Bill of Rights today was ratified or signed. I could be wrong on my dates, but there's a lot of chatter. 15th could mean something big. We'll see. It's big for Digibyte, tell you that. I'm wearing this sweatshirt, so I really look fat today. Really pushing my jowls. I need to get on that cleanse. First of the year, so I need to start easing into it now and then hit it hard come the first. Drop some of these LBs, get back in. It's really not that, you know, I mean, if you're at a comfortable weight, it's not a big deal. It's just that if you're, you know, you don't, your body tells you, you know, when you're not feeling comfortable. And so, yeah, I definitely need to do a cleanse, reset the body and the mind. So, Digibyte had a nice run up yesterday and the night before, and it's still holding pretty strong today. This goes back to what I talked about, I don't know, a few weeks back. I don't even think it's been a month now, when Litecoin really started kind of running and leading the market. And I was talking about the Litecoin to Digibyte ratios, and it got to the point where there's one Litecoin would buy, it was almost 11,500 Digibyte. And at that time, I'm like, this is out of whack. This is way too far out of whack, because it will revert. I mean, it will come back down, because that is just not, that's not the trending ratio, the norm, you know? And so I pointed that out, and I said, I mean, if you like Digibyte, you like Litecoin, and you want to kind of build your bags of each one of them, that's the time to kind of do it, because you've got, let me get out of the way here for the mailman. I'll swerve on over here. I'll let him go. So, you know, what you can do though is when it gets out of line like that, you've got Digibyte at, you know, say you got one Litecoin at the time. And I mean, it was quick, because I looked at it, I'm like, holy cow, this is the time. If you're going to do it, move it. It went to like 11, I know where I was. It's like JFK, you know. It was 11,500, might have went to 11,600. So one Litecoin gets you 11,500 Digibyte. Let's just say 11,000, because you had a little opportunity. All right, so you took one Litecoin to 11,000, got 11,000 Digibyte for it. And you can swap it on ChangeAngel. I mean, honestly, that's probably the best place to do it, the lowest fees. And they actually donate back to the communities. So if you're swapping Litecoin and Digibyte, they'll donate to the foundations of each of those coins to help further the, you know, the coin, support for the coin. So I like ChangeAngel. I think I got a link in my description, ChangeAngel.io, and that allows you to, you don't have to sign up for, you know, KYC accounts and all this stuff like these other exchanges where then you got to go in and set orders. No, you just go in and say, hey, I got one Litecoin, where do I send it to get 11,000 Digibyte? And then you give them your Digibyte address for your wallet, and they'll take care of the rest. So it's kind of slick, it's kind of nice. All right, anyway, ChangeAngel.io, link below. So you could have gotten 11,000 Digibyte. Today I looked, yesterday I looked, it was like 7,700. So one Litecoin only got you 7,700 Digibyte. So you could have taken that Digibyte that got stronger and swapped, you know, 8,300 of them back into Litecoin, and got your one Litecoin back, and you know the difference would have been, you would have kept 3,000 Digibyte. You know, so you made 3,000 Digibyte. So, I mean, that's ways that you can play this stuff. That's just things I've noticed. And that's how I noticed that coins are strengthening and weakening against each other. It used to be Bitcoin was the standard, kind of still is, but with these stable coins, you know, people are looking at it more in dollar terms. Before you had USDT, USDC, all these stable coins, you had to value your coins in Bitcoin. And that's kind of what you looked at, the ratio of like Digibyte to Bitcoin or Litecoin to Bitcoin. And you would see, you know, when it would get out of whack or when it got stronger against Bitcoin or weaker against Bitcoin. And that's just how you valued things. Bitcoin was the stable coin because there was really nothing else. I mean, you'd cash it out if you wanted to and go into fiat, but that was kind of defeated the whole purpose of why people got into Bitcoin and crypto. But I get it, you still got real world stuff that you got to purchase, and if you can't do it with crypto and make that trade, that barter, then you kind of have to go back into dollars. But that's one thing I've been looking at. Digibyte's looking good. Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but usually for something like this to happen, a lot's moved off of Binance. Somebody's taking possession of it and they're getting into it, some big orders. So I don't know what exactly is happening, but it's kind of a signal that things are changing. And Digibyte under a penny, it's just ridiculous to me. Just, I mean, unbelievable. It really is, because the natural ratio of Digibyte to Litecoin is 250 to 1 based on total supply. So 250 Digibyte for every 1 Litecoin. Oh my. Merry Christmas. Yeah, so, and you know, the natural ratio of, or the coded ratio of Bitcoin to Litecoin is 4 to 1. So you look at that as being like the ultimate extreme, but what you got to look at is how it normally sits in the ratios. And with Litecoin to Digibyte, what I've noticed is if it gets over 10,000 to 1, you know, 10,000 Digibyte to 1 Litecoin, that's out of whack. And that's why I was talking about it, because I'm like, that's too far out of range. I mean, you might want to look at putting some Litecoin into Digibyte, because Digibyte's way undervalued, or you look at it as Litecoin's way too strong compared to Digibyte right now. And sure enough, and at the time, it's like, Litecoin could go running, it could go to blah, and, you know, it could be a 20,000 to 1 ratio, 50,000 to 1, But see what happens? Nothing stays up all the time. Things correct. And that's why it's important. I mean, if there are coins that you like, you can look at those ratios so that you can build your stack or bag, you know, what people say of the other coin. So it's something to really look at. Yeah, so when you see Litecoin over 10,000 to 1, I'm like, holy cow. And then I've seen it as low as almost 1,500 to 1. Real close, under 2,000 anyway. I mean, so think about that. I mean, if you took one Litecoin and bought, you know, and traded it for 10,000 Digibyte, which would have been easy to do. It sat there for, you know, like a week. So you could have gotten over 10,000 Digibyte for 1 Litecoin. Okay, what if it corrects back to or reverts back to the other way? And it probably will. 2,000 to 1. So you're sitting on your 10,000 Digibyte that you got for 1 Litecoin, and then it goes 2,000 to 1. You could take all those 10,000 Digibyte and get 5 Litecoin back. I mean, you've 5 times your Litecoin. And people play that ratio with Bitcoin and Litecoin, and they should. I mean, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist and you want more Bitcoin, you should thank God there's Litecoin, because you could play that ratio and just kill it. I don't do it because I'm you know, probably should, but I'm just a, you know, accumulator of Litecoin, I guess you could say. And I spend it though too, just like money. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. You say buy and replace, but sometimes it's like, I got no money to replace it. So there's what you can do. I mean, like I talked about the Bitcoin Litecoin ratio earlier this year, I think it was 500 to 1 Bitcoin to Litecoin. One Bitcoin got you 500 Litecoin. Insane. And now Litecoin's kind of in a little bit of a lull. It's probably 225 maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's 250. It's not that strong. But let's say it is 250 right now. You could have taken 1 Bitcoin earlier this year, gotten 500 Litecoin, and now it's 1 to 250. You could have taken, you know, the 500 Litecoin, you could have taken 250 of them and gotten your 1 Bitcoin back, and you're sitting on 250 Litecoin that are free, basically. Or you could throw it all back into Bitcoin. But what you could do, I mean, you know, you could get your 1 Bitcoin back, take 250 of them, and now you've got 250 left. Well, what if the ratio goes 5 to 1? Okay, so you've got 250 Litecoin, it's 5 to 1 Bitcoin. You can get 5 Bitcoin at that point with it. And it'll probably go to that by June. I mean, it's 60-ish, you know. Could go to 50 to 1. I mean, so that's like, holy cow, look at all the Bitcoin I'm getting because of Litecoin. And, you know, so don't knock Litecoin. You know, you can use it to get your Bitcoin if you're a maximalist, a Bitcoin maximalist. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, people get caught up in their camps and, you know, what coin's better than, my coin's better than your coin. It's the best coin. It's the best. And, you know, and people will just identify. It's like a sports team almost. They just rally behind it, and it's just like, really, it's, you can like the Eagles and hate everybody else and hate the Giants. The thing is, though, you kind of want to have the Giants around, don't you? So you can kick them around, maybe? Or you can, you know, at least have some competition and, you know, something to, you know, make fun of the other team and, you know, have the jeering back and forth, the action, you know, that's part of it. So why would you want to get rid of other teams? You know, and whittle it down to just one. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You'd be playing with yourself. Well, nobody wants to do, well, unless you're a maxi, I guess you do want to play with yourself. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense to not have other coins. Does it? I mean, why just one coin? You know, then it's easier to come after if you're a government. And yeah, you can say it's decentralized, the government can't touch it. But if there's one target and it's just Bitcoin mining and that's it, I mean, it's a lot easier for the government to come after you, isn't it? Yeah. Because they'll just go after the big miners and regulate them and, you know, slap fines on them, you know, climate change and, you know, all this stuff. Make them have a, you know, a green license or something, you know, a carbon license. You don't have enough carbon credits. You got to shut down your mining rig. And so it's just, it makes sense to have more targets out there on the field. I mean, it's just that much harder for anything to stop it. I mean, people will say, well, if there's just Bitcoin and they try and shut it down, we'll just start it up again. All we have to do is change one letter in the code or do this to the code, that. But the thing is, that's the value purpose. That's the value case of Bitcoin, is the fact that it's been running since 2009. Well, one interruption, but, you know, running for several years. I mean, that's why it has value. That's why Litecoin is having value and will have more value, because it's been running for over 11 years. That's why Digibyte will continue to build in value. And I see it as like a ridiculous, I mean, I look at it and like, holy cow, under a penny. 21 billion can never exist. That's it. But it's been running for 9 years straight, uninterrupted, almost 9 years in January, like January 10th or something. 9 years. I was talking about Litecoin when it was running for 7 years straight, and I'm like, 7 years straight, nonstop, pay anybody in the world. You know, no bank, no government could shut it down. Now it's over 11 years. 11 years. I'm making videos that long? Yeah, I think I made my first video toward the end of 2018. I think it was. I think that's when UFC had Litecoin on the mat at the end of 2018, something like that. It's hardly years, get blurred. But yeah, it's been a while. I've been talking about Litecoin, and I was a big proponent of Litecoin before that. I just never, I didn't do the social media thing, just behind the scenes. So, I mean, you've got to have multiple currencies, and if multiple people give power to it and make it work, then good. Good. I'm glad that there are groups of people out there that support Dogecoin, that support, you know, whatever, Vertcoin, Redcoin. I gotta go look at that. They released some new code last night, and I missed the spaces chat. I gotta go look at the Redcoin stuff, and I missed the Litecoin Underground. Litecoin Underground. Okay, this is one reason. If you're getting on Twitter, if you're not on Twitter, this is one good reason to get on Twitter. And I haven't been in the discussion or jumped into the spaces for a while. But Twitter has something called Spaces, Twitter Spaces. And what it is, it's like a forum. Anybody can jump in and listen. And, whoever's hosting it can give you the microphone so you can speak. And every Wednesday, it's usually like 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern time, usually 9 o'clock Eastern time. I think last night was 8, but there's a Spaces. It's every Wednesday night, Litecoin Underground. They talk about Litecoin, everything about it. You can ask questions, you get a lot of smart people in there. You'll get people from the foundation jumping in, Litecoin Foundation. If you want to learn about Litecoin, get on Twitter, just create an account and, go follow Litecoin Underground. I think it's LTC Underground, and just search for that and you'll find it. And every Wednesday night, he's got a Spaces to where you can jump in and listen and learn and go back and listen to prior ones, for they're archived for a while. You can listen to the older ones. But give him a follow. Listen to that if you really want to learn. There's a lot of good Digibyte Spaces. I don't jump into them much because sometimes I'm just overwhelmed and I just don't know where to focus. I need to find a good one and just start listening. There's so much information out there, though. A lot of it's hard to get in crypto. A lot of the information is difficult to, there's a lot of times there's just not the resources of centralized resources available. Well, that's because it's decentralized, the good coins. And so, there's a lot of information all over, but the Litecoin Foundation, Digibyte Foundation, they try and do a good job. It's all volunteer stuff, it's like they're devoting their time and effort to it. And so that's why it's so important. Like if you're going to trade coins, go to ChangeAngel because they'll donate to these foundations and they will help support the communities because it's necessary. It's very needed. Got a phone call. All right, so I better wrap this up. But yeah, take a look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Digibyte, Vertcoin, Dogecoin, Redcoin, all these coins that were mined out proof of work. Redcoin's not proof of work anymore. It's been mined out and now it's proof of stake. It went to proof of stake, and so you can get a yield, by running it on your computer. That's why I like it. I do. Because you don't need a lot of resources. It's still one of those coins that you can just run on your laptop that's already running in the background and support the network that way and get a yield for it, get more Redcoin. And it's easy to send. It's basically a fork of Litecoin. I think it's got 1 minute blocks and it's just fast. Just like super fast right now because there's nothing in the blocks. Anyway, it's a nice little project you can get into, if you want to learn about crypto. Download the wallet and just start staking coins, and it's kind of cool. You can see, oh, wow, I get more coins for supporting the network and, validating transactions with, the code. So, something to look at. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's Thursday the 15th. We'll see if the 15th means something special. It may. I don't know. If it does, then I'll talk about it tomorrow. Or maybe make an emergency video later. All right. Trust yourself in all this stuff. Just do some research on it. There are places where you can get the research, get the knowledge that you might need. You can go to my website, clintwestwood.net. There's information out there as far as what, there's some good beginner stuff. I try to post a few videos out there that are helpful, not necessarily crypto, more wake the frick up videos. But I've got a lot of wallets that you can download that I use, that I like. There's some videos how to create paper wallets. There's all kinds of stuff. Just go check it out. Very bare bones, very basic, no ads, none of that stuff. And, you can go click on stuff and learn about it. That's all it's there for. I want you to learn. I want you to be able to have a place where you can go learn. And there's a lot of other places to learn. Just go do a search. You got a question, go out on YouTube. Just search it, and you'll find the information, or drop a comment below. And if it's something I can talk about, I'll talk about it. People have asked me in the comments before of the videos, hey, what do you think about this? What do you do about this? And I'll address it in a video. Somebody else might have the same question and might benefit from it. So, all right, enough rambling. Trust yourselves. Do your own research. You got to trust yourself in this stuff. Nobody's looking out for you. They're going to try and take your money and steal your energy. That's what they've always done, and that's how it is. So you know what? Find the tools that do not allow them to do that. And for me, it's Litecoin, it's Digibyte, it's physical silver, little coins you can carry in your hand. Things you can hold in your possession. That's the important thing. All right. Love y'all. Have a wonderful Thursday. Thanks for watching, and always trust yourself.